Welcome to HD Nation Tech Feed Edition, your guide to the best in HD content and the best in home theater gear, no matter what your budget is. I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Robert Heron.
Do you need to burn in your new HD TV? Blu-ray picks? Robert's got the ultimate HDMI switch that's actually going to renovate your old AVR. It's DVDO's Quick6. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you need a few more HDMI ports for your HDMI challenge HD TV or AV receiver. Mr. Heron's got two excellent options, one super affordable switch from Monoprice and one super deluxe model from the good folks at DVDO. Mr. Heron, what is the difference between a $100 and a $400 HDMI switch?
Features. It's all about what's integrated. The good folks at DVDO have a brand new product that we're looking at today called the Quick6. It's a 6x2 Ultra HD switcher with Insta Preview. It switches HDMI sources with the best of them out there while providing some very useful features for getting basically the most out of your classic home theater gear.
It's the extra stuff that's added onto this that actually makes it cool.
Totally. Things like, well, any good switch out there nowadays for HDMI, it's going to have auto switching capabilities. This one will do it prioritized based on the port it's plugged into, or it has a cool feature I really appreciated called new sources, so that if something turns on within the connected available ports, it will just automatically switch to that. And then when it turns off, it goes back to a prioritized setting where, say, it'll dump all the way down to port number 1 to see what's available and still running and switch right back to that. ARC is built-in audio return channel, so it's really nice if you're using the over-the-air receiver in a brand new HD TV. This will allow you to return that audio signal and send that out to, say, your AVR, so you can have that support too. So integrated audio. This has that support. Also, it supports your 4K formats if you're looking to move into 4K eventually. This supports 4K resolution as well as MHL, the mobile high definition link for your mobile devices, and getting those connected as well and charged up.
The best thing on this, by far, Instaport. Instaport is so awesome.
Instaport S. Now, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the S stands for. I think it means sub-second switching times. That is really the neat thing here. Now, with this device, it maintains that HDCP authentication. It remains connected. As you plug a device in, it takes care of that connection right then and there, and it doesn't wait. Unlike just about every other switch out there, it won't wait until you switch to that port and then make the handshake, taking far longer. This gets it under a second.
There's a super short list of AV receivers that have licensed the Instaport technology, which means boom, you switch to your Blu-ray player. Boom, you switch to your cable box. Boom, you switch to your Apple TV. It's instantaneous. The switch actually includes the Instaport technology.
Sure does.
Which is so awesome.
That is one of the best things about it. A lot of TVs, like you said, are integrating this in there. Once you're able to move between your inputs at almost as fast as you want, it should be that way on every TV. So that's cool. The other neat thing is something called Insta Preview. Instead of, say, Input 1, Input 2, labels in terms of selecting which inputs you want to use on your connected devices, this actually will provide a thumbnail image. And I can just even hit the button, Insta Preview, boom. We only have a couple of connected devices right here right now, but of the 2 connected devices we currently have, we can do a thumbnail preview of each one. And then I can just simply, here, I'm going to go to the Blu-ray player real quick, select it.
Can I make the thumbnails any bigger?
No, and I will say, if there was one thing that might be a good idea too, is to be able to have a larger thumbnail. Quick switching ability. Now, this is actually going through a switcher in the back as well, so it might be causing an extra little bit of delay, but that was fairly quick. And in this case, we have a Blu-ray player hooked up to it. There are 6 ports on the back of this. One of the cool deals with this is in dealing with older gear. Now, if you have an AVR that has no HDMI, this actually will take your audio sources that are connected via HDMI and allow you to select output for, say, optical or coaxial audio.
Oh, cool.
So, for your older gear, this is something that can upgrade it to add your HDMI ports, MHL support. You could even do 4K HDMI, yet still be able to send a digital or coaxial audio cable out to your older gear to keep it running the way it will. Now, for auto detect, of course, you're not going to be able to do auto detection over an optical cable or anything like that. That only will work with your HDMI connected devices. Also, this thing has 2 HDMI outputs. Now, normally, you could use this for, say, sending just the audio to the AVR and just the video to the TV, but there's also an HDMI mirror mode. This is really a scenario for if you're using something like a projector with your TV, and you could fire the signal to both of those devices simultaneously. That's almost like a matrix switch in that scenario right there. However, if you're dealing with devices that support different resolutions, only the highest common resolution and the audio capabilities will be shared across the dual output mode like that.
Good to know.
Pretty cool. Really, the bottom line is that this is one of the easier upgrades you can do to an AVR that is pre-HDMI, but it still has something like your digital or coaxial audio inputs. Now, there are other products out there that share some of the core features that this has, But the Quick6 has support for 4K, Instaport, MHL, and Insta Preview. That really does kind of set it apart. And it's also a firmware upgradable product as well. So down the road, if they add new things like, I don't know, test patterns, or if there's something wrong with it, chances are the company's going to fix it and provide that update for it.
So $100 monoprice switch, what do you get?
Yeah, everything except like 4K support, like MHL.
Do you get Instaport?
No, no Instaport, no Insta Preview. All of that goes away. Okay. However, you have similar functionality in terms of being able to take a couple HDMI devices, as well as even other analog devices, and select what audio output you want for that. Say, coaxial output to an older AVR. Or later on down the road, you upgrade to HDMI or an HDMI receiver. You could then have that same switch over to providing HDMI audio output as well. A quarter of the price, but you lack all of the Insta technology, be it preview or port, in addition to things like MHL and 4K.
And I, of course, can add this into sort of my Harmony remote or my Universal remote or my home automation system.
Exactly. This also provides a serial port on the back as well. So if you're dealing with like Control4 or other home automation products that require a serial connection, this has it in addition to being a CEC device for consumer electronic control.
And IR, so my plain old remote will work with it.
Totally.
Just checking.
And also, this does add picture-in-picture. That's something I almost always forget about, but if you're looking to add that feature back in and to be able to select any port on this basically to display a picture-in-picture mode, you can do that with the press of a button. And there's a dedicated button on here that allows you then to cycle through the picture-in-picture sources if you want. Oh, we have it in that corner.
Thumbs up?
I think this is a great product if it is something you've been waiting for. You have an AVR you don't want to touch. You want to just keep everything you have the way it is, but you need to add like HDMI, and you're looking forward to things like maybe Instaport, Insta Preview, MHL and 4K, and this is all kind of the switching product you want. You just want to leave everything the way it is. This is something to look at.